we're going to grade every single AFC team. Now, we did a cumulative grade for every single team in each conference.
Did I ruin everybody's grades?
No, you actually didn't. It didn't affect it that much.
Oh, nice.
I love that you're
like
always consistent on these.
There are very few exceptions.
Yeah.
Very few.
You're the Broncos
you
getting
keep
like
it
a
very.
No, there are other rare ones that I gave an exception to.
Panthers
Got an exception. I gave the Niners an exception.
Deserved.
I gave the Bears an exception. I think that was the end of the list.
Dick rotten. Still.
Okay. So what we're referring to is that Drew essentially, for like every playoff team,
Everyone got an F.
gave them an F outside of like a few exceptions.
There's an exception.
Seahawks
They won the whole thing.
Yep.
A+.
Well, of course, yes. The Jaguars won 13 games. Drew gave them an F.
Genuine F.
For the season.
Genuine
They
F.
had an F graded
they don't
season.
get
They lost in the first round.
Yeah, they don't get a B.
Hey,
Your team lost in the first round.
How'd you guys do your grades? Because I did. It was basically 80% my preseason expectation, what ended up happening.
Of course.
20%. Once you were in the season, did you live up to those
No doubt.
in-season expectations?
So how I did it is I graded everybody up into the playoffs. So I gave you a grade on based off how you made the playoffs, what you did, and then when the playoffs came, I redirected your grade. So
Okay.
for example,
I like that.
I gave the Seahawks an A going into the regular playoffs. Then they won the Super Bowl, so they stayed at an A. For the Bills, gave them like a B. Then like they lost in the second round, so you probably drop it to a C. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so essentially like that.
It's a mix.
Yeah, it's like a mix. Like whatever you can change the grade. But I will say, every playoff team should get a passing grade. I think that's crazy if they don't.
I didn't give
That's
the Eagles. I gave the
ridiculous.
Eagles an F.
Yeah, that was crazy.
ridiculous.
That's
That's ridiculous.
I think that's you
That's
can't
terrible
give them
to say.
You're
No,
the
that's terrible to
defending
say.
champs. You lost in the first round after a pretty bad
yeah,
season.
but you won the division and you made the playoffs. And you won 12
I think
games.
the Eagles feel like an exception only because the product in a regular season was
Abysmal.
so clearly like below their
you
standard.
can't, but you can't give a team that won the division
No,
12
bro.
games
If you have
an F.
championship
It's just
aspirations,
impossible.
if you have championship
So then Denver should
expectations,
have got an F.
Why though?
They had championship.
We lost our
aspirations.
quarterback before we could show what we
point.
really were about.
Good point, good
Nevertheless,
point, good point.
the Buffalo Bills had championship expectations.
You were the only playoff team I gave an F to.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wait, so let
The
me.
Bills?
What'd you give the Eagles?
See,
What the Bills get?
C to me means you basically met your expectations. Was your expectation for Philly a first round exit?
no, I think I'll probably give him a B for the regular season and dropped off.
What were the
They
Bills?
lost in the first
I
round.
gave the Bills a D.
Okay, you're all right.
Your expectation
Wait,
for them was
let
not
me-
Super
so
Bowl.
if the
Now,
Broncos
at least win a
with Bo
playoff
Nix
game.
They did.
lost in the AFC Championship,
Eagles
they were an
didn't.
F.
I'm talking about Buffalo.
That's crazy.
So how I did it was C, you met your expectation.
Mm-hmm.
B, you're a bit below. D, you're a bit below. A is basically like the Super Bowl.
That's not
teams
true
with a
because the
couple
Bears
expectations.
didn't make it to the NFC Championship, and I gave them a good grade.
Yeah.
But they didn't make the playoffs last year though.
No,
won the division.
no doubt.
Yeah.
But we weren't supposed to be number one seed.
I gave the Broncos an A. The Broncos and the Bears were the only teams that got an A who didn't reach the Super Bowl.
Okay, so I kind of just did my grade based on like.
How are we doing this? Just by division? We're talking.
I mean,
so
listen,
much.
it's cumulative. We're gonna do it.
What'd
We're
you
gonna
give
do
the
it by.
Rams?
We're gonna
I
do
gave
it
the
by grade.
Rams a B
How?
because they were basically the second best team in football.
To be
this year.
honest,
They lost in
whoever
the second round.
no, they lost in the
lost in
NFC
the
Championship.
Wasn't that?
Yes,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
but I was
You're
gonna
right.
say like winner that game went to the Super, like was gonna win. They were gonna win.
I mean, if your expectations are F, I mean, it's a Super Bowl. You didn't win the Super Bowl. You didn't make the Super Bowl.
I gave him an F.
The Rams?
I gave him an F.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give him the F, but I'm saying, you know. Yeah.
I get it. It's just not how I wanted to
So,
grade.
Yeah, I'm not harsh on my
Listen,
grades.
we keep talking about teams. You're gonna get my grade. So either we shut up and lock in on division.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
how do you want to
listen,
do this, Jordan?
overall, it really doesn't matter how we
Cup's
each
still there?
individually. Yeah, it's still here. It doesn't matter how we
Should have picked up 3 hours ago.
how we individually graded the teams because it's a cumulative grade.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it by grade. So
Okay.
first we're gonna go through the
A's,
F
B's.
teams.
Okay.
Then we're gonna work our way
Beautiful.
up.
Okay.
So that's how we're gonna do it.
Sounds good.
I will say, how I did my individual grade was basically how many good things do I have to talk about this team. For example, like the Jacksonville Jaguars. I thought the offense took a big step forward. So did the defense. If I feel like there's a lot of things that within your team worked at a high level, I give you like a better grade, So I basically graded the team overall, like graded like your units and expectations. So even though they lost in the first round, I thought that people didn't even expect them to be in this position at all.
What'd
So
you give him?
I gave them a B.
I don't hate it.
I think the Jaguars had a really good season.
They were a team that
See, they didn't. Okay, hold on.
great regular
Expectations.
season.
Okay, let me ask because you gave Buffalo what?
A D.
A D because you said they didn't make the Super Bowl.
Well, their preseason expectations. for
Okay,
those teams are
so
different.
Jacksonville, both of you thought that they can make the Super Bowl.
No, they were on their hands and
They
knees
didn't
for
make
Jacksonville.
they didn't make it out the first round.
They were
and you still
twerking
get
for
them a B.
Jacksonville.
Well,
That's where
this is what I said in the beginning was how I graded was basically 80% your preseason expectation, 20% once you're in the regular season. What happened?
I'm gonna be honest. That's some nonsense.
That's unfair. 80% is a big number.
Well,
It's some nonsense.
true, but they also played Buffalo.
80%. What?
They played the D. You
What?
gave a D to.
I understand that,
You
but
can't give the team that beat them a D and they get a B.
But
First
it's just
off, I wanna-
matchup based because, for example, Houston had a objectively worse regular season, but then they played the fucking Steelers.
Then who?
Then the Jags.
What, they one game off?
I mean, objectively worse. That sounds
Yeah.
strong worded, but
I mean,
you're
it
not
wasn't
wrong.
worse.
They were, yes, Jaguars were
Here's how
better.
I'll break it down. For me, it's very simple. It's the Bills beat the Jaguars in the playoffs, yes. The Jaguars still, I thought, had more positives to their season than Buffalo. Buffalo very much felt like a carry
They
job
had
by
a
Josh
home
Allen.
game, and they gagged
They lost
to a worse team.
I just can't. That's 2 grades off. Like I can't see 2
I don't know if
grades
they
off.
gagged, dude. It was a
What?
Cam Little's field goal was a big missed opportunity.
He's a part of the team.
And then Trevor Lawrence threw not one but 2 bad picks.
I mean, the second pick wasn't bad, dude. Come on,
What
let's be
are we
honest.
saying?
It wasn't a great throw, but I'm not going to sit here. I know I picked Jacksonville. I'm not going to have revisionist history, but I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like that was the biggest upset of the year. It was a coin flip game.
It's crazy to be like,
No,
the
I
Jaguars get
understand.
an
They
F.
lost in the first round.
Yes, and their preseason expectations for a lot of people was missing the
Okay,
playoffs.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
asked-
give them acknowledgement for what they accomplished in the season. However, like we
Well, you're not.
always
If you give them
acknowledge,
an F, you're not.
Okay, 100%.
No, he
what
gave
we
everybody
always
F, though, to be
acknowledge
fair.
is that expectations change.
Yeah.
When you outperform what your expectation were, now they change. So we should have changed them when they were your favorite to come out of the
They'll probably
AFC.
change like
We
4 or
should have
5
changed it
times.
when they were your favorite
No.
to come out of the AFC.
They were never my
No,
favorite. They were
No.
just one of the teams I
You
thought
guys had
would
them
come
high
out.
like week 12.
So what? So hold up. So do you change your expectations for the Broncos because you picked them to beat?
and I
the
had us
Patriots?
winning, and we did win. We did beat Buffalo.
You didn't win the AFC Championship. You had them
But his
beating
is they
the
got
Ravens,
okay,
hurt.
we didn't have Bo Nix.
but you still picked them to win.
Okay, fine. Fucking put me on the fucking cross for choosing
Okay,
my
so
Broncos
you still
over the
picked
Patriots.
them to win. They lost, so they get an F
we
for the
lost
season.
10-7.
You still lost.
The Jags lost by 3 points.
The Jaguars barely lost too.
But
We
that's
lost
different,
without
though.
Bo
That's different.
Nix.
The
But you still
Jaguars
thought
game
they'd
is
win.
different. That
You
game is
had
different.
Trevor Lawrence. You had everybody at full strength, and you fucking
get
gagged
louder?
at home.
I'm just using your logic
It's not
against
the
you.
same.
There's
It's
no
not the same.
logic there. We didn't have Bo Nix.
You picked Denver still.
and we didn't
He's a
have
fan,
our best
bro.
player, and we were
Okay,
down by
so,
3.
So what? You picked Denver still. You made a case for them
was
to
never
win.
gonna not
This
pick
They
them.
logic
did not
is
win.
dog shit.
No,
we
it's
did
not.
not
We
have
all have
our
different
best
No, it's not.
offensive
Yes.
So
weapon.
if we're not going to come to an agreement on how we should grade, we're all just going to sit here and argue
yeah,
with each other
yeah,
about how
for
we
sure.
should grade.
Yeah, we
100%.
already cumulatively
No, this
came up with
logic
grades.
just got me so fucking angry
No,
for
it's
half a
because
second. I
you
apologize.
don't want to be held accountable for the pick that you made.
What? No,
You're
it's
saying
not being
I
held
ma- I
accountable. The
made the pick
Jaguars
'cause
were
I was
your
a fan.
team to come out of the AFC. They lost in round
Yes, they
one.
lost.
That same team
They still
lost the
won 13
following
games.
week to the
True.
Broncos with Bo Nix. Bo Nix breaks his ankle. We lose to the Patriots. It was a 3-point game to a backup quarterback in which weather dictated heavily.
The Broncos had a great season. I graded them accordingly, even with Bo Nix missing that
But
game.
you're trying to use my logic for
Yes,
choosing the
because-
Broncos and the
because
Patriots
you're-
when that
because-
game was skewed because of weather conditions and a backup
the
quarterback.
game for the Jaguars is skewed with a kick being missed and
Trevor Lawrence
a marginal
missing
inch
the mark.
of 4th down that Trevor Lawrence marginally missed that could have very well went either way. It was a wide open play. Then he
Wide
just-
open play that ended up being a tip ball in the air.
I'm talking about the quarterback run on 4th and 2 to get the 4th down when they were in Buffalo's territory.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I think it's even worse logic to have the 19th game in a regular season completely erase an 18 game regular season in which Jacksonville, before the season, I asked everybody here, what should be their expectation? It wasn't the playoffs. I'd be shocked. I was the only person putting that expectation on them. Dells picked them to win the division. They won 13 games. They had a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense. A failing grade.
and they still gagged.
Okay, sure.
With everything perfect for them, they still choked.
A failing grade for a team
Expectations
means
change.
you did nothing correct. That's what a
That's
failing
nonsense
grade is
because
for
the
a
Rams.
team.
That's bullshit, and you know that.
No, it's not.
Because the Rams were the second best team in the league, and whoever won that game versus Seattle versus the Rams was gonna go win the Super Bowl. The Rams are one of my favorite teams in the league. What did I give them?
You gave them
an F. And I disagree with your grade on the Rams.
But I'm staying consistent. There's no inconsistency in my logic.
I wouldn't. So why are the Panthers there?
Because
Panthers lost, you gave them a B.
When the Jaguars started to go on their run, and now they're 13-3, and now they're the best offense in the AFC, everyone's expectation for them changed. When they went into the playoffs, the Panthers 8-9, nobody gave them any real threat to make a push for the NFC Championship.
Really even be there, bro.
Exactly. And then they played an amazing game versus the Rams. They almost upset the Rams, albeit the Rams were away. They were a wild card team. Panthers had the home game. If they shouldn't have, different conversation. But they outperformed what their plan was. At my core, do I still believe that the Panthers failed? Yes. But again, 8-9, great game versus what I believed at the time to be the best team in the league. For the Jacksonville Jaguars, our expectations changed for them. And I think that it is okay for me to, when they did go into the playoffs, it's fair for me to change how I've perceived them. However, you can say I didn't give them credit, whether right or wrong, what was true was I believed in them versus the Bills. I thought that they were definitely the better team, and they let me down. And they let all who believed in them down. They disappointed. You could argue more than any other team in the NFL not named the Philadelphia Eagles come playoff time. You could argue that. True or false?
I think they faced a matchup that was a coin flip type of game because Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the playoffs.
But Joel,
that's what it was.
Can you call it a coin flip matchup? I'm having difficulty accepting you calling
Buffalo
it a coin
was
flip
favored
matchup.
In the game, though.
No, they wasn't.
They were. According to Vegas,
Jacksonville
they were.
was.
No, according to Vegas, they were.
Joel,
Was that
again,
because of Buffalo or because of Josh Allen?
Joel,
Josh
I'm
Allen.
having a hard time because what I care about, and you know this, you know it, what I care about more than anything else is the opinion of these four men in this room, including myself. Including myself, four men. That's all I care about.
Yes,
so when you say to me coin flip, it pisses me off because you were very vocal. The Jaguars clear. It's not a conversation. It's not close.
Riv also just stated that we said the only way the Bills win if Josh Allen goes nuclear, and he very well did that.
That wasn't
it's a bullshit cop out.
It's not a bullshit cop out.
Because not only was Josh Allen amazing, because that would be selling short the elite performance we saw from the Bills defense, correct?
We didn't know they would do that. But,
no one did. Yeah. We only said the only way they win is if Josh Allen's elite. He was. But that was not the only reason they won. True or false?
Facts.
It was a close game that went down to the wire, and Josh Allen had to be literally a 10 out of 10.
It was not. Did they win because of Josh solely? Yes or no?
No, not solely. It's a team game. You will never just win because of one player.
Was the ball in Trevor Lawrence's hand to win the game?
Yes.
Does that mean that the defense had to get a stop again?
Yes. He threw into tight coverage. The ball got tipped up and it got picked.
Josh scored. He did. And then the defense did theirs for the first time in the Bills' tenure.
The amount of difficult throws that Josh Allen had to make in that game into like the tightest windows.
Josh Allen was the best player on the field by leaps and bounds.
He was literally
what you're insinuating or what you're failing to do, I should argue now, is acknowledge that the Bills' defense was, I don't want to say equally because the quarterback position.
I'm not acknowledging
the Bills' defense.
What the Bills did
was
the Bills.
All world.
The Bills all around played a great game, but it's also true that Josh Allen had to play the picture perfect game for them to even win that game. Yes, it is.
The Bills' defense got to stop
if
twice.
If Josh Allen played how he played against like Denver, they obviously lose. Like even Josh Allen had to play the most perfect football game he's played. The run game wasn't even going either. James Cook wasn't really playing that well either. Josh Allen had to carry the entire load of the offense. I just think that your logic is
it's consistent.
It's benefiting bad teams for overachieving their current expectation.
No, it's not.
Versus grading actual good teams fairly. Because based on your grade, you give the Carolina Panthers a better grade for the 2025 season than the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Who didn't get an F? Seattle, New England,
Denver, Chicago, San Francisco.
San Francisco because of injuries?
And San Francisco solely because of injuries. Because I do think that if they were 100%, which is not fair, because obviously they experienced so many in the NFL, you're never going to have.
So what's the cumulative list, man?
That's a fact.
Yes, the
Did
cumulative
all that yelling.
list.
Let's get to the list we all
The
agree
Sorry,
on.
the
List.
Bo Nix shit really did irk me. It's a soft subject. I apologize. I do apologize to the panel. And to those listening, I yelled so loud.
The F grades were given to, in the AFC, the Baltimore Ravens,
I think that's fair.
the Cincinnati Bengals,
Yeah.
even though Joe Burrow went 5-3 when he was healthy. But you can take into
can't say-
account
you
the
know.
failure was Joe Burrow getting hurt.
Yeah, but also I like what you said in the beginning. Like, what positives you have to say when you left this Bengals season? Like, what do you feel good about going into next year? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like it's gonna be a great offense, and defense probably gonna suck.
Yes, the only positive is the Burrow, the receivers, and the offensive line also played much better down the stretch of the season as well. And there's a lot of Bengals fans that are optimistic about like what the offensive line unit can be next year, which would be
You have to.
it would be solid.
You have to get
it would be
delusional.
good
Not delusional.
for
They're-
them to
they're
just
decent.
focus on defense, but I think the offensive line still needs some help. The next failing grade was the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
Now, this isn't a Mahomes-centric grade, so I understand. I mean, the Chiefs are awful.
Okay, come on.
They're awful.
We don't need to
For
go
what it's
about
worth,
Mahomes. Oh my god.
I don't
John
know what
gave
it's worth.
Mahomes a B grade for the season.
Even
John,
Joel
you
gave him a
said?
less grade.
What?
What'd you give him?
A C.
Wait, why are you giving
What did I
Mahomes
give
a
him?
grade?
F.
We did. It was short form content. Grading these quarterbacks.
So all you gotta do is dick ride.
No, it's all they do. And by they,
so yeah,
mainly John this time.
so
I
all
can't
you
even
do
say
is,
him.
like-
He said C, and I was like,
I'll take
whatever.
that.
John was like, it sounded like he was siding with me, and then he just did a 180 and was like,
Grading
I say B.
performances. Let's talk about Mahomes. They fucking didn't make the playoffs. F. Next.
But he never mathematically was eliminated when he was
This, and that's the shit that lost me,
Cool.
bro. It's
He
some
wasn't.
lame shit.
He
Cool
wasn't.
beans.
He was
Stop
on the
it.
midst of a
Like,
game
he
winning
had to sit
drive.
at home and watch.
The
Like all of
next
us.
failing team, the Miami Dolphins. I mean,
Easily.
Did
you
he
see
even get a
what
grade?
you see what they're doing now. They are cutting their best players. They're completely rebuilding their team from the bottom up. It's because they weren't satisfied with
Yep,
how this
yep.
There's
season
a part of
went
me
at all.
that loves it.
Their record was
Fuck it.
a lot prettier than what it actually was because they
And
played
yes.
well the second half of the season.
They did.
The Tennessee Titans are the other failing grade. They have a
It's
top
fine
five
for them
pick.
to
I give
do
it
that.
an A.
And there was a part of me that wanted to be kinder to them because I think towards the end of the season I liked Cam Ward.
That's exactly why.
Yeah, no,
I was like,
literally.
you feel good
no,
about
there's
Cam
some
Ward. I
logic
think
behind
that's-
that one.
I
There's
think
some
that's
logic behind that
valid.
one.
So they get a grade up because just the quarterback situation is figured out.
I feel the same way about the Giants. We're
Okay.
like, you're going into next season feeling good about the quarterback, and I feel like that's your only goal entering the
And
season.
another grade that I almost didn't give an F was to the Giants.
Yeah.
Because when they were fully healthy, they were
know
giving
why that's
great
crazy.
teams problems.
Like my expectations for the Titans and Giants were to be fucking whack, and they were
and all
whack.
he's
But
saying
their
is D.
quarterbacks were good.
It's
yeah.
not like he's saying C.
I'm not giving a
I
a
agree.
team
I agree. I agree.
a
I agree.
different
I agree.
grade because of the
Well,
quarterback.
the quarterback is so influential on the game.
I mean,
I
okay,
agree.
yeah,
Dels,
sure.
this one, I'm with you. The Giants, genuinely, it took a lot in me to not
And the
give
Giants
them.
a lot of injuries too.
The Giants got fucked.
Yeah.
They gave
But
an
the Giants
amazing.
had a better chance of being more competitive than Titans.
They gave a great game
Titans
to
were
the
bad.
Chargers,
Yeah.
great game to the to the Eagles,
Good game
great
week
game to
one,
the Broncos,
Denver, yeah.
a great 100%, great game to
Second,
Dallas.
Cam Ward in the
Short
season,
week.
10 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Short
Well,
week,
the
fair.
only-
Matters,
We getting
matters,
belt.
matters.
We getting belt
Matters.
next
The
time.
team for the Giants gets feeling great because the only positive, quite literally, is Cam Ward and Jeffrey Simmons.
It's his quarterback. So I mean,
There's other things in there like Tavondre Sweat's a really good young player,
Look at
but for
that.
the most part,
DK.
yeah, a good returner. For the most part, it's kind of like they need to rebuild this entire thing.
Yep.
Next team up in the F category, New York Jets. A historically bad season.
Like
turnovers
I
or
wish
no
there was a
interceptions.
stronger grade because you
0.
couldn't even lose right.
A 0.
You couldn't even lose right.
A 0.
we did. They just had the worst
I
fucking
was
strength of
rooting for you.
schedule.
I was rooting for you.
Drew,
I
one
really
thing about
wanted
teachers,
Mendoza.
they say, what's worse than an F? A 0. Literally doing nothing.
Bro, I
And that's what they
really,
got.
I really, really, really,
I would have rather than nothing get 0 wins.
Yeah,
I
no,
needed
yeah,
you
guys
guys.
get a 0.
Needed you guys to get Mendoza. Now I have to root
So,
against
so
him.
did I, brother.
Fuck.
Next team up, the Cleveland Browns get an F, but they had an A draft class.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we're
Draft
just
class,
grading their draft class, they had
We're
an
not.
A. But the offensive line for them in its entirety is
Free agents
they're all
and
free
gone,
agents.
yeah.
So now,
Aren't they all on the older side, too?
yes, they are all free agents, and now it's like the Browns need to overhaul not only their receiving weapons but their offensive line. So it very much feels like this offseason is about them retooling the offense completely. Next team in the F grade is the Las Vegas Raiders, a
Easily.
team that fired their coach, Pete Carroll's one and done. He's probably not going to coach again at this point.
Yeah.
The next tier is the D grade tier.
Okay.
The Buffalo Bills are a D.
This makes no sense.
Really good regular
Give them a C.
season.
This is terrible.
What should they be?
F.
Okay. Yeah.
F. You have Josh Allen. You lost in the second round. You were dog shit. Actually, bad performance overall.
I give him a C.
F to me, the thing is, like, F to me was the Chiefs and the Ravens because they, like, were out of the playoffs, and even in the regular season, they weren't that good. The Bills, at least in the regular season, they had a good offense. The passing, or the defense was good statistically, even though we thought it was a little fraudulent.
Their schedule was also fraudulent.
See, but I
Their
attacked
schedule
your
was easy.
logic because you never thought they were that good to even get this
I
far.
agree with you.
So
They still failed, though.
No, I'm not. No,
Josh.
you're great, but you can't say they had Josh when you were saying all year. Well, this team really shouldn't
I
even
was
be.
calling them out for what.
No, yeah, but you didn't even think they'd be in the second round.
Agreed.
That's all I'm saying.
fine.
You know what
I'm
I'm
fine
saying?
with this statement. Fine.
No, you're great. You can keep it great. You're
But
very consistent in that department.
They have Josh Allen. The defense, even look, I can change my expectation again.
Yeah.
Even still, after beating the Jaguars, I went into that Broncos game nervous as shit
Yeah, for sure,
because it was always a chance that we could lose, and
went
it
down
was
to the
almost
wire.
exactly. And even still,
That's why I give him a C.
it's an F.
I give him a
They
C.
have some positives with them. They had the leading rusher in James Cook.
Legend.
They had a great offensive line. They had Josh Allen, and they didn't advance further than the second round, but you can put a lot of the blame on the divisional round loss on Josh Allen. And you can say that the team, for the most part, put him in a position to win that football game, but Josh Allen didn't come through, and the team overall didn't come through. I think there are positives from the Bills season, but overall, like, taking away just the playoff games that we saw where the divisional round, the team showed up, for the most part, this team all season long felt Josh Allen dependent, and it felt underwhelming.
Yes.
Like a below average defense, receiving weapons were non-existent. They
This
were
was
relying
a
on
great Buffalo year.
on an older Brandon Cooks. Like, this very much feels like, even though they made the second round of the playoffs, it feels like a C team.
And
They
still-
lost in bad fashion with Josh Allen not playing.
I think
well.
they walked to 12 wins.
What kills me is that they realized that this was actually a good roster. They, at minimum, should have realized that, and at the trade deadline, sat on their hands, didn't get a receiver.
Yep.
Why were they not the team to go get Jacoby Myers?
Their GM got a promotion, that's why.
Now, Bean needs to go.
The next D team is the Pittsburgh Steelers, who
How do we get here?
They
I
made the
gave them a
playoffs.
C because they did exactly what I expect them to do.
A C?
I give him a D.
They just,
But
just
you
gonna,
constantly are the guy who says, I hate Pittsburgh for continuing to throw out mediocrity
Oh,
in
yeah.
front of us.
Well, this is their difference between do I
Wait,
like
so
you
if they
and
met
what's
your
their
expectations, it should be A.
No, expectations. C. A is beyond expectations.
Yo, good cook.
I mean, C
Good
is just
cook.
like you did what you did.
Sure.
the Steelers are more so like about like evaluating them from what they were. They were a team that they won games and made the playoffs, but they were also a team that was bottom 10 in offense and bottom 10 in defense. And it was another season of like, they just
Same
find
shit.
they
Same-
find
same-
ways
yeah,
to win.
same
But
shit, different day.
overall, like, it was a very underwhelming
Yeah.
team. The defense dropped off substantially. Outside of DK Metcalf, no other weapon, and really just spamming Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell
You're not a Calvin Austin guy?
routes out the flat. No, he didn't perform at all this year. And Aaron Rodgers had the lowest average depth of target, completed air yard per attempt. He was at 3.7. So it was the lowest by like a full yard. Their offense was very difficult to watch.
Where's
So
the energy during the season?
because Aaron Rodgers carried.
Jalen Warren and fucking Kenneth Gainwell carried.
That's a
Okay.
great statement.
Aaron Rodgers got them the ball in
Yeah,
space.
in the backfield,
Yeah,
facts.
he was playing like me in my Madden league because I don't got no receivers. The C grades were given to the Indianapolis Colts.
This one I can hear. And I apologize for being rude to the Colts on my grading. I had to stay
The Daniel
consistent.
Jones one was unfortunate.
It's unfortunate, most
'Cause we
definitely.
don't know
It's a
how
tale
that
of two
would've
halves. It's
ended, yeah.
basically the first half of the season, the Colts were an A. The second half, they were an F.
Yep.
And kind of tie those two in together, you kind of come to like a C.
Yeah.
This is a team that was riddled with a quarterback injury that they just couldn't overcome. Phillip Rivers tried his best, but I think the defense didn't play well all at the same
Well,
time.
they could.
And the running
Hashtag.
game completely vanished in the second half of the season.
Yeah, once,
We were-
once Daniel Jones went down, Jonathan Taylor, the holes weren't there.
The real MVP.
We were talking about Jonathan Taylor like breaking LT's record this
Yep.
year for
They didn't even
touchdowns.
break Saquon shit, bro.
And yeah, exactly. And there was a debate of like
You have
whether or
to
not
do
his
that.
season was going better.
That was dicky.
The other C is given
You're
to the Los Angeles Chargers. First round exit.
I give them a D. So I'm surprised. Where'd y'all go?
If you make the playoffs, you get a C automatically.
Okay.
Yeah, if you make
You're
the playoffs.
kind, man.
I feel like I'm not.
You need this because he's too nice.
Well, if you're meeting expectation, it should like if a nigga meeting expectations is the Super Bowl, God Almighty, God bless your soul.
Well, there's only like maybe three teams
The
that have that
expectation,
Yeah, I think expectation
at minimum,
is
the
make the
expectation
playoffs.
for Herbert at this point should be
win a playoff.
Play
game,
good.
man. Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying for
But
him.
we're grading the team, not
Yeah,
Herbert.
the
agreed.
Goes
The
hand- yeah,
quarterback
goes hand in hand.
obviously weighs.
No, the
so
Chargers'
significant.
expectation was make the playoffs and then try to succeed that, which is why I didn't give them higher than a C.
And then they got embarrassed.
I thought their expectation was to win a playoff game.
that is the
I don't think,
expectation.
not from, who we going off?
No.
You or me?
No, it's a fact. It's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
know, it's
it wasn't for me.
It's
It
subjective.
wasn't for me.
But my thing is, you brought in John Harbaugh.
Yes.
Yes, you had injuries to the offensive line, but Riv, I think you made such a beautiful point a couple shows ago by saying we knew this offensive line was dog shit all year long. Post
Once it was
injuries,
hurt, yeah.
post injuries, we knew. So it's not like it was different going into this game.
Yeah.
We just didn't
And
think
the
Patriots could do
result
what they could
was
do, to be fair.
fucking
I
putrid.
mean, I could drop them to a D if you want me to.
I'm just think that
Live
it
your
should,
truth, man.
at minimum, what your guys were saying, it was a coin flip game before between the Bills and the Jaguars. They don't even get that benefit of the doubt. They don't.
Yeah.
And your quarterback was even worse than what Trevor Lawrence was.
Yeah, that was bad.
I'm kind of like the Chargers were an 11-win team with the biggest Achilles heel of any playoff team imaginable in the postseason. Their offensive line was ranked 32nd. The only offensive line that was worse than theirs, or not worse, but it was one of the worst, was the Texans, and they were ranked like 22nd. The Chargers' offensive line was such a demoralizing, just awfully bad unit that it brought their whole team down. But when I look at the Chargers, winning 11 games with that big of a hole, you had a top 5 defense. You had Herbert play well in stretches. I thought Omari and Hampton, when he played, looked really good. So
For
did
the
Kamani
injury,
Vidal.
For
Like,
sure.
I came away with more promising things this year about the Chargers than negative things. The only negative I'm coming away from this season with the Chargers is the offensive line play and Greg Roman's play calling.
And
Those are
Herbert
only
in the
two.
playoffs.
Now you're on Greg Roman, man.
Yeah.
No, we had this conversation before the show started.
Did we?
Yeah.
And so okay, and Herbert played bad in the playoffs
Again.
And I thought that Herbert's playoff performance in this one was different, where I thought he had things open to him. I didn't think the team necessarily failed him. I thought that he failed the team. So
Yeah, he played poor.
I gave the Chargers a C because I thought the Chargers had a solid season, all things considered, with their offensive line deficiencies.
That's fair.
Like, there are more positives, like Oronde Gadsden breaking onto the scene. Like,
Well, he died.
Those
There-
3 games
there
were
are things-
legendary.
Theoretically.
there are things to be
Might as
like
well.
He
excited
did nothing on the
about.
field.
He disappeared. I mean, he had a 3-week stretch where he was awesome.
John, are you going to cut that out?
I mean, come
Or
on.
if I would have said it, you would have cut that out. I'm just
No,
asking.
that's a good statement,
I'm just
honestly.
asking, trying to figure that
I
out.
said theoretically.
The B grades given out.
Do I have to say theoretically now?
Yeah, no,
Just-
hypothetically, theoretically, yeah, for
Shit,
sure.
Okay.
The B grades given out. The Jacksonville Jaguars. 13-win season, top 10 offense, top 10 defense. Trevor Lawrence revived his PR
Can I
this
ask you
year.
a question? Were my grades not taken into account in this?
We just
'Cause it makes
overranked
sense.
you so bad.
No,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
you
they-
gave a B.
I gave a B.
Yeah.
B?
I think we all
You
gave
gave an A?
No, I gave it B.
Okay.
Yeah,
By
yeah.
proxy.
Yeah.
You know, F is such a significant grade that
Ask
it
Chat-
you
ask
wasn't-
Chat
No,
GPT
no, but
how it
let me
happens.
also
You
say
wasn't
this.
strong enough to
Let
bring
me
it down.
also say this. I would understand if, because my grading scale is so
We
one of
balance it
one,
out.
that you guys were just like, fuck Drew.
Well, I think
let's
you just
do
put
this.
it into ChatGPT.
No, yeah, I
No,
just,
you
I
were
just
the
put
last one to
everything
go.
in there.
True.
Yeah, so we didn't even know your grades.
Well, I knew Drew was going to give
Yeah.
95% Fs.
I was just how I thought of it as like, yo, bro, if it's an A, Super Bowl, B, conference finals or conference second round, or you just had a really great season, C, you made the playoffs, but you didn't do shit. Like, it's so simple for me.
No, I thought Jacksonville winning the division, winning 13 games, Liam Cohen working, Trevor Lawrence working, ETN's
no
best year.
playoff win.
No playoffs win, sure, but now going into next season, if the same thing happens, then sure, they're a D or an F.
I'm sure.
But like, I don't know. I think there's stepping stones. And I think that's fair.
There
Yeah.
are stepping stones.
You win 13 games.
But at the end of the season, there's only one person lifting up a trophy.
Absolutely.
Two
doesn't mean
if you argue AFC, NFC,
Yeah.
which is why I give some credit.
It's never
Patriots.
it's never stepping. You guys never say stepping stones when you talk about a team. It's only until after they lose. It's like, all right, now that I was wrong. It's stepping stones to this. You know,
Well, I think it's
Yo,
It-
fucking,
it's like-
yo,
it's so
Riv,
crazy
your
to me, like,
ability to
why the
hold
fuck
people
did you say
accountable is
stepping stones
amazing.
the
because
first time?
I think it's a little disrespectful to be like, when they're bad to play the Bills, if they lose, it's all right. You're gonna be like, you sound like a bitch. Like, you're gonna say that, so I'm not gonna do it.
You know what? You're right. I am.
Yeah,
So
no,
that's
I mean,
fair.
I think
Great, well said.
That's fair. That's
You know what? But Jacksonville, after this 13-win season, after being the
There's
number one
stepping stones
offense
to this.
past the trade deadline, you know, if you guys lose, it's all right.
Yeah, like, we're not doing
Good job this year.
fair.
You know, it's a disappointing end to the season, but I think most Jacksonville Jaguars fans come away from this season very encouraged about what they are now.
That is some loser shit.
It's not.
Why?
Loser shit.
It's not.
After last season, not 2 years ago, Bo Nix's rookie year. Did you not feel encouraged for the Denver Broncos?
Was I not fucking pissed the fuck off
That's
that
different.
we had fought? I was
don't think they
upset
won
we
13
lost.
Of
Of
course.
course.
You can be upset you lose, and
But
you
you
can
went
also be
into
like,
this
we had
year
a great
saying
season.
you're going to win the division, you go to the Super Bowl, like you had to have been encouraged.
I mean, I knew what the roster we had, but we ultimately failed our mission.
For sure, but you were still encouraged. If you weren't encouraged, you wouldn't say they're going to win the fucking division or the Super Bowl.
Yes, you can be encouraged, fine, yada, yada, yada. Nevertheless, when you lose the way that Jacksonville Jaguars did, Jacksonville Jaguars fans, they should at minimum hold this team accountable and not just be like,
Facts.
all right, let's
You
just
can be upset
accept,
and encouraged.
let's just
Yes.
accept being a playoff team
Trade
next
Trevor
year.
Lawrence, fire Liam Cohen, 1 year failure. Just start over. There's nothing
You can
redeeming
be
about
upset
this
and
saying
team.
that,
encouraged. You can be
though.
upset and
Who's
encouraged.
saying that?
Giving a team an F is saying there's nothing redeeming about
No,
this team.
that's
Yes,
not
it
what I'm
is.
saying.
Yes, it
No,
is.
if
Not-
you like
not on Drew
consolation
scale.
prize and giving
Not on Drew
things,
scale.
no, because there's one winner every single
So
year.
why would the Panthers
right.
be?
Again, the Panthers, fine. If you
Why
want
would
to
the
come
Niners
out,
be?
the Niners are different because I think fully healthy, that's a championship team.
They were.
That's a
banged up
championship
as
team.
fuck.
They won 12
team.
games with
They lost
But they
fucking
by 30
weren't,
to the
and
Seahawks.
why-
three all pros on the IR.
But they
I know.
weren't. And why should they be encouraged when every year they're unhealthy?
Oh, good
They
point.
went to the Super Bowl in 2023. That was 2 years ago.
Every year they deal with injuries. Like
That's
they
except
have
that year.
back breaking.
But when
injuries.
they didn't, they went to the bowl.
That's a fact.
yeah, and they usually are
And this
never
year
that
they
healthy.
dealt with injuries and they still won a playoff
Yes,
game.
that's why the Niners season was very impressive. Much like
That's why I gave them the benefit of the doubt, unlike other teams.
The Jaguar season was very impressive.
But they didn't win shit.
Okay, no, they didn't. But winning
Even
a-
with all the injuries,
Why'd you give the Bears
Even-
an F? They didn't win shit.
now the Bears like made me look so stupid that I had
He
to
had to
do
dick
right.
ride them. It was
No,
way
no,
out.
they
Yeah.
made me look so dumb.
But you were out on Jacksonville for basically the whole season.
That's not true. Like that statement is objectively
So you're
not
saying
true.
the Jaguars didn't make you look dumb at all this season?
No, they did.
Okay, so
Well,
they
when
don't-
were
so
you
they
getting
get
on
an F,
Jackson?
though.
Like what week?
Jackson once Jacoby Myers came in, I was quiet.
So halfway through the season.
No, for sure. But I changed my tune on Jacksonville way before I did on Chicago.
Yeah.
I didn't
It was-
even give
the
Chicago
Jacksonville-
their credit.
I mean, Chicago had to win a playoff game.
That
You just
literally-
Said, okay, you got it.